And I think people have to start asking themselves the same question I asked myself 2.5 years ago when I kind of had my political awakening. And that is, what is the role of the Democratic Party in our capitalist oligarchy? Because a lot of people seem confused about this, especially the people who insist that we should be spending all of our energy, our time, and our resources in trying to reform or move the Democratic Party left. And what they and why I say there's a fundamental misunderstanding of who the Democratic Party really is. Because if you look, the Democratic Party right now, they're telling us loudly and clearly that they don't want to be a left party through their actions. Look what the Democrats are doing. Are they using, right now they control the entire government. They have the House, the Senate, and the White House. Are they using their power to fight for and pass Medicare for all? No. Are they using their power to pass and fight for a living wage? No. Are they using their power to try to reform the police and cut the military budget? No, they're doing the opposite. They are funding the police even more, and they're giving more money to the military, as Chuck pointed out. Are they using their power to pass reparations or to write off student loan debt no, or to establish like a universal basic income, any policy that would give the working class and the poor power in this country? No, they're not doing any of that. Nothing has gotten better with the Democrats controlling the entire government. That's our first clue. And if you want to think about the second clue is, look at the states where Democrats have supermajorities. States like California, states like New York. In California, the Democrats control the entire legislature, and they won't even bring a single-payer health care bill to a vote in California. And that's because the Democrats do not exist to serve the people. That's the big lie, people. The Democrats exist to stop any real movement in this country to the left, and they are the GOP's greatest ally in preserving and maintaining our capitalist oligarchy. So the Democrats are not a left party. They're not a progressive party. They're definitely not a socialist party. The Democrats are a right-wing capitalist and imperialist party. Trying to reform them is fool's gold. They cannot be reformed. That is like trying to say you're going to move Wall Street left, or you're going to try to move oligarchs like Jeff Bezos left, or you're going to move giant corporations left. You can't do it, So you can't move the Democratic Party left because you can't move the powerful special interest groups who fund the Democratic Party left. It's an impossible feat. So I think it's important for us should we continue to waste all our time, energy, and resources into a party and look at the Democrats right now. The fact that nothing is getting better for the people, and what is the Democrats' message right now, despite the fact that they have all the power? Their message to the people right now is you need to vote harder for us. They are literally telling people that people should fight for them and vote for them when they aren't fighting for us. And the reason they do this is because they feel entitled to people's votes. And that is why if you want to see any real change in this country, you can't vote for the Democratic Party. You have to stand up and fight back against the Democratic Party. And if you don't believe me, I want people to look back at progressive giants in this country, someone like a Henry Wallace. I started reading a lot when I woke up. And about 70 years ago, Henry Wallace said something very simple. He said, both the Democrat and Republican parties serve big business and the ruling class. Now, the only difference is the Republican Party admits it. The Democratic Party attempts to conceal it. Well, here we are, all these over 70 years later, and the Democrats are still playing the same game. They are pandering to us when it's election season, saying healthcare is a human right. But the moment they get power, they fight against the actual policy, Medicare for all, to make healthcare a human right. So the Democrats who are in front of the camera on CNN pandering for your votes during election season, that's not who the Democrats are. Who the Democrats are, who anyone is our actions. People are their actions. They are what they do. And what the Democrats do when they have power is they fight against progressive policies, and they fight to protect the status quo and to enrich their corporate donors. The same thing the Republicans do. So this nonsense about, oh my God, you have to vote Democrats or Republicans will win and destroy democracy. Guess what? We don't have democracy in America. We have an oligarchy, and we have two parties that represent the ruling class.